The Canadian Real Estate Association just released an updated resale housing forecast, and it's pretty interesting. So today, I'm going to talk about the national forecast along with the Nova Scotia forecast, how our Nova Scotia market here stacks up to the national averages, and last but certainly not least, I'm going to talk about where we're at currently year to date with the numbers compared to what the 2023 forecast says. So from a national perspective, this forecast talks about average price points, and it also talks about total number of sales. So these are obviously two metrics that we use a lot in the real estate industry. So getting right into it, for price points nationally in Canada, in 2022, the average Canadian home price was $703,831, which was up 2.4% from 2021. In 2023, the expectation is a 4.8% reduction to just over $670,000. And in 2024, the expectation is a 4.7% increase, back up to just over $702,000. So in general, CREA is expecting us to drop in 2023, and then as the rates are stabilizing and in theory coming back down, they're expecting us to raise back up again in 2024. Now, in terms of a sales volume perspective, in 2022, we saw almost 500,000 sales across Canada, which was down 25.2% from 2021. Now, obviously in Nova Scotia, we played just a small piece of this puzzle, and last year in 2022 we had just under 12,500 sales in Nova Scotia. And to put this into context for you, BC, Alberta, Ontario, and Quebec all saw over 80,000 sales last year in 2022, and actually Ontario saw just shy of 183,000 sales, which is crazy to think about. And our 12,485 sales last year in 2022 were fourth lowest in the country, ahead of only our Atlantic neighbors New Brunswick, Newfoundland, and PEI. In 2023, the expectation from CREA is that sales will drop 1.1% to just over 492,000 sales. And in 2024, the expectation is that sales will increase almost 14% to about 561,000. Now, just before I get into the Nova Scotia numbers and how we stack up across the national averages, if you're new here, my name is Andrew Stevens, and I'm a local realtor here in Halifax and surrounding area. And if you're looking to be educated on the Halifax real estate market, then this is the channel for you. So hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Now, if you're looking at buying a home or selling a home, or if you're just curious to chat about the real estate market in Halifax, you can book a call or a meeting with me anytime to chat about real estate in the calendar link below in my description at a time when it's convenient for you. Okay, so getting right back into the Nova Scotia numbers, in 2022, our average sale price in Nova Scotia was just shy of $412,000, which was up 14.9% from 2021. In 2023, the expectation from CREA is a 2% drop down to just over $403,000. And in 2024, the expectation is a 4.5% increase up to just under $422,000. Now, from a sales side of things, in 2022, there were just under 12,500 sales in Nova Scotia, which was down 21.7% from 2021. In 2023, the expectation is a 0.8% increase, so right around the same number, just over 12,500 sales. And in 2024, the expectation is a 16.4% increase to 14,645 sales. Okay, so all that is well and good, but the real question is, where are we sitting right now year to date at the end of the first quarter in Nova Scotia compared to what these forecasts for 2023 are saying? Well, so far as of the end of March in Nova Scotia, our average sale price is sitting right around $397,500, which is down 7% from this time last year. And we've had just over 1,800 sales, which is down 33% from this time last year. So at this point, CREA's forecast of a 2% price drop and a 0.8% increase in sales activity is looking pretty inaccurate. However, I would suggest there is a lot of time to make this up between now and the end of 2023, and here's a few reasons why. So number one, the market is certainly picking up and buyer confidence is increasing with the rates stabilizing and the price points seemingly stabilizing as well, and we're coming into the busiest time of the year for Nova Scotia real estate. And number two, last year the market was heavily weighted in the front end, so comparing price year over year at this point is not really going to catch up to itself until later on in the year. And the reality is that last year we had a crazy first 4 months and a slower 8 months on the back half of the year, and this year I would expect the complete opposite. I think we've seen our slowest months of the year, and I think we're coming into the busiest time of year, and I think that's going to roll right into the summer and the fall market. And number three, from a price perspective, I think we're looking pretty good, and the reason for that is the first 4 months of last year were the highest sale prices we saw, and then in the last half of the year they were a lot lower. Now our average sale price right now as it sits is above what the last 6 months of the year were, so I do expect this to level out over the year, and I think by the the end of the year, we're going to be a lot closer to 0% change than we are a -7% change year over year. And lastly, how do our numbers stack up to the national averages we've seen across Canada? So last year, our 21.7% drop in sales was less than the national average of 25.2%, and our average sale price increase of 14.9% was a lot higher than the national average of 2.4%, and actually, we had the second largest provincial price increase, only sitting behind New Brunswick. So with all this being said, keep in mind this is just a forecast. Nobody truly knows what's coming, but this is CREA's market forecast, and they generally do these multiple times a year. So their predictions, I'm not surprised about. So to give you an update, my predictions in January were as follows. So that being said, I'm going to make a bit of a bold prediction surrounding price. I'm going to say that for the second time in 43 years in the Halifax region, the average price year over year is going to decrease. Now, I know that sounds scary, but hear me out. So yes, that's right. It's only happened once since 1980, and that was between 1994 and 1995, and it only dropped a couple $100 on average year over year. So the reason I think it's going to go down year over year is I'm expecting the market to not change drastically. So this year, our average sale price in 2022 was about $535,000 in the Halifax region. However, the first 4 months of the year really carried that average price point because it was really hot in January, February, and March. But the last 6 months of the year, the average price point was only about $490,000. So I do think it's going to come up a little bit from there. I think we're going to end 2023 with an average price point somewhere around $520,000, $525,000. So with that being said, I think it's going to come down about, 2% or so. That leads me right into my third prediction. I predict that sales will be up about 5% in Halifax in 2023. Now, again, you're going to get mixed reviews on this depending on who you talk to. Some people think the sales are going to be down. Some think they're going to be up. I think it's going to remain likely right around where it was at this year, but I do think it's going to be up a tad because I think that rates will stabilize, and then I think that buyer activity will re-engage, and I think we'll, see a bit of a spark in the market toward the middle point of the year leading into a busy fall and fourth quarter. The biggest problem I think with sales going up, and this is the one thing I have as kind of a reservation to this prediction, is I do not think there's going to be a ton of listings in 2023. So I think if they are down, I bet the listing numbers are going to be down, and that's really what's going to create that decrease in sales rather than the uptick that I'm predicting right now. But to be honest, I wouldn't be shocked either way. Anywhere from, down 5% to up 5% is where I think this is going to end up, but I'm going to say up 5% in 2023. Now, as always, I'll keep you updated every month with the new stats as they come out, and we'll do a big recap at the end of the year for a full year in review of the year 2023. But I'm really curious to hear what you guys think. Do you think CREA got it right? Do you think they got it wrong? What do you agree with? What do you disagree with from a Canadian standpoint and from a Nova Scotia perspective as well? I would love to see some comments below, so comment below what your thoughts are and I'll get back to everyone as well. And if you're still here watching, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and that'll help push this out to more people like you who might be interested in seeing content about the Halifax real estate market. And if you're still here watching, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it, and have a great day.